Good evening, I'm Mark Seal for your CBC Sports World. Chargers retained the men's crown in the Goddard's Enterprises Division I volleyball competition last night with victory over Gourmet Express Progressive. CBC Shane George reports on that game as well as a win for Deacons over Cormier.
Progressive in blue serving to Chargers. Alain London, that's clever. Progressive with a reply though, try stopping that. Chargers just needing to win to ensure the title. They'll take those freebies. Progressive on the attack. Ramel Atherley comes up with a big block for Chargers. Some nice work from Progressive now. Back set, beautiful precision. Chargers having a great game, unstoppable. They went on to win 25-18, 14-25, 25-15, 25. This next men's game saw Deacons in their customary green taking on Cormier. Sean Simpson's left hand was too hot to handle. Cormier with the serve now, caught them napping. Free ball for Cormier, short set, and Cedric Proverbs made a meal of it. Cormier having heaps of trouble this season. Called for lifting. Deacons winning 25-21, 25-18, 22-25, 25-18. Shane Jones, CBC Sports.
Well, thanks, Shane. Then juniors grabbed the fourth spot by defeating Foundation United 32-30, 25-21, 21-25, 25-20. The juniors ended on 18 points, while Foundation, they were bottom of the table with 5 points from those 10 matches. On the women's side, champion Century Insurance Deacons were in danger of losing their final and only game that they would have lost for the season, but they battled from 2 sets down to beat Pan American International Insurance Warrens 21-25, 14-25, 25-11, 25-23, 15-9. Earlier in the night, Club United dismissed Carlton at 21, 22, and 19, while Brighton's Rockets beat Toners 20-25, 25-18, 29-27, 25-20. Deacons finished with a maximum 50 points. Rockets had 39, Warrens 29, the club 24, Toners 18, and Carlton 12. We'll have highlights of the women's games during CBC Sports at 8:30 tonight. Soccerettes International, the Barbados leg, is set to begin at the Lloyd Erskine Sanford Center tomorrow morning. The two-day forum will bring together all the international football businesses in the world, and according to Soccerettes CEO Duncan Revy, some big names will be in the lineup to speak at the event.
They're coming from all over the world. They're coming from Europe, they're coming from Africa, they're coming from Asia. So there will be a gathering of the great and the good of the football industry, as well as football players. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, I've already mentioned John Barnes, Brian Robson, Captain Marvel will be here, amongst others. So we've got a sprinkling of stardust, a World Cup winner from Argentina in Osvaldo Ardiles, and they will all be attending and speaking in the last session on Wednesday as to their experiences, and in particular be interested to hear how John came from the Caribbean and made himself a world star.
Now, BFA President Randy Harris says that the hosting of Soccerettes right here in Barbados is a real privilege for the island.
In this region, we need to be exposed to all the new trends in football. If we are to carry our standards to the next level, we need to be exposed to what is happening in football. So it's a great thing for this region, and we are fortunate that we are having it here in Barbados.
Okay. On to cricket. West Indies A-team batsmen continue to find the going rough in Sri Lanka as they were bowled out for another low score today. West Indies A were dismissed for just 151 in their first innings against Sri Lanka A on day 3 of the second unofficial test at Matara. Of the day, Sri Lanka A, resuming on 137 for 6 in their first innings, were eventually bowled out for 166. Shannon Gabriel finished with 5 for 29, while fellow pacer Miguel Cummins had 3 for 49. Then opener Craig Brathwaite scored more than half of the Windies A total, as his 76, inclusive of 9 fours, was the only thing worth writing home about in the team's score of 151 in just 40.4 overs. Spinner Thurandu Kushal claimed 5 for 73. Now batting a second time, Sri Lanka A are again struggling. They're 63 for 4 That's an overall lead of 78 with 6 wickets remaining. Jermaine Blackwood has so far taken 2 for 8. Scores again: Sri Lanka A 166 and 63 for 4, West Indies A 151. Cricket Australia is worried about their upcoming tour of the West Indies. This after the Windies players' decision to abandon the tour of India just months before the Aussies are scheduled to tour the Caribbean next year. Cricket Australia's chairman, Wally Edwards, has described the situation as deeply concerning, and it is one that needs to be addressed urgently. West Indies one-day players quit the 5-match tour of India following the 4th one-day international in Dharamsala. This was last Friday, after failing to reach an agreement with the Windies Players Association over contracts and pay dispute. Upset Windies players informed team management that they would be abandoning the tour without playing the final ODI that was scheduled for today, incidentally. And they also forfeited the T20 that was scheduled for Wednesday, and the 3 tests, which were scheduled to bowl off October 30th. Edwards says they have sought further details so they can understand more of what's going on in West Indies cricket, and they want it as a matter of priority. In basketball, Waterford Wildcats and the Warriors put on a basketball treat for their supporters last evening at the Barbados Community College. Playing in the final of the BABA Under-19 competition, Wildcats were pushed all the way by Warriors before pulling off the exciting title victory by a 4-point margin. CBC's Damian Best reports.
Warriors in all over black against Waterford Wildcats. Ramel Bino inside for the layup. The Wildcats though had the better of the early exchanges in the first quarter. Jumper from the corner pocket, nothing but net. 3 to the total, compliments Renako Bino. The Wildcats leading 27-15. Anton Lawrence drives to the basket for 2 of his 16 points. In the second quarter now, Wildcats looking to maintain that intensity. Shearing is carrying Nikolai Burton from distance. Master stroke, 3 of his 25 points. But the Warriors found some form and cut that 12-point deficit on the back of good individual efforts. 3-ball, bang, money. Then Jamali Holder coming up with the steal. He goes the distance. Ramel Bino, he had a fantastic game. Warriors, another steal. There's no catching him. 2 of his game high 37 points. And Ramel really in a league of his own, steps into the 3 as the Warriors lead 40-38 at halftime. Second half business, third quarter, Warriors offered up a gift pass to the opposition. Anand Joseph Thorne says thank you so much. Then collecting to the old-fashioned way in the paint, crazy attempt by the offensive board by Burton. And Warriors had their own magic. Ramel under pressure. Are tied. 54 all heading into the 4th. The final quarter now, anybody's game. Akeem Hill with the block. Then at the other end, Bino shining like a star. Hand in his face, doesn't matter. 3 more. Shaquan Newton backing him up with another bomb. He had 13. But the Wildcats were just as hungry for the victory. Lawrence in traffic, good to go. Then some eye candy, just the way we like it. Anand Thorne, clean as a whistle, 3. Really tight game, but Wildcats just too much down the stretch, and they would go on to take the title. 78-74 winners over Warriors. Damien Best, CBC Sports.
Thanks, Damien. Meanwhile, the Women's League semi-final matchups are all set after the former unbeaten UWI Blackbirds forfeited their final regular season game to the defending champs, Station Hill Cavaliers. The playoffs begin on Thursday at the YMCA with Game 1 in the best-of-3 series. Lady Cavs will take on Combined Schools Hoopsters in the 6:30 game, while at 8 it'll be Blackbirds versus Urban Vibes St. John Sonics. Ever since open water swimming was introduced as an Olympic sport in 2008, its popularity has been steadily growing. Carlisle Bay has been identified as one of the best locations for the sport, and that venue will host the 2nd Barbados Water Festival.
due to a lot of hard work and persistence to get locals involved as well as foreigners, this year, with the event just about 2 weeks away, we have to date 130 foreigners signed on for it. Anywhere from Olympians to current world record holders, they're all there's a big interest to come to Barbados for the event. Our goal, our 5-year goal, is to make the Barbados Open Water Festival one of the top festivals around the world for open water swimming.
And there will be a 5K and a 1.5K race on November 2nd, with some big names among the 250 expected competitors.
We have the world champion Alex Meyer coming in. He was the 2010 World 25-kilometer swimming champion, and he's the current US national 5-kilometer champion. In addition to that, we have Taylor Abbott, who is the current title holder of the boys 14 to 16 World Open Water Swimming Championships held in Hungary earlier this year. So in addition to those two international superstars, we have a host of other top swimmers coming in from New York and London, Canada, and they will be going up against some very strong competition from around the Caribbean as well.
Well, that's sports for now. Remember, I'll have more sports at 8:30 later on tonight. But up next, the business report.